Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Mr. Kadim Khan and I am a lecturer in the Institute of Computing, Kuwait University of Science and Technology. Today we will take lecture number 25 of the subject of Object-Oriented Analysis and Design. And in this lecture we are going to discuss modeling the class diagram in Visual Paradigm. Dear students, Visual Paradigm is a UML tool to develop the models. Here we are going to develop the class diagram which represents the code of a particular software in Visual Paradigm. This is the discussion agenda. It contains the topics of drawing class diagrams and steps for creating the class diagram in Visual Paradigm. Now, before discussing the step of Visual Paradigm for developing the class diagram, here is an example of a class diagram. Basically, a class diagram is representation of the object instantiation, and it represents all the classes which will be in the programming of the software. A class diagram is a model which is a blueprint of the objects, and it is required by a product or a system and the relationship between different classes in the class diagram. Here you can see that we have different classes. Line is one of the class, similarly telephone is the second class, and similarly ringer is another class, and caller ID is another class, and answering machine and message are other classes. This is a class. A class is in fact a rectangle, and it is used to represent the particular code, and on the top of the class we have the class name, then we have the attributes names, and then we specify the different functions or operations in the class. Here you can see that this is another class, and the class is linked with another class through certain relations. For example, it is the association relation. That means that the object of this class can be accessed here, while this class object can be accessed here. And this is a multiplicity relationship. That means that how many objects can be accessed or declared among these two classes. These are the attributes list, and these are different operations in this class. Now also we have another relations. For example, this is another association relations. That means that this class can communicate with this class, but this class cannot communicate with another class. This one is also an association relation, but you can see that the name of this class is in italic. That means that it is an interface class. Similarly, this is another class, and this one is a message class here. And this is the composition. Composition means that the message is composed inside of the answering machine. That means that answering machine is using the message class here. Now this was in effect an example of the class diagram. Now here we are discussing different steps which are involved for creating the class diagram in Visual Paradigm tool. There are few steps which are involved in creating the class diagram in Visual Paradigm. Now, first step is to create a class diagram via a class navigator. Class navigator is in a section where we can create the class diagram. So when this particular diagram is created, then you are prompted to enter the package header here. The package header will be the name of the header, where different classes will be enclosed inside of the package header. That means that package header is a container for different classes. So the package can be created with entering the string name here. For example, my application. This will be the package name. So the class diagram and the classes in the diagram will be contained by the package. So all the classes will be in fact inside of the package. So here we will enter the my app package. In the second steps, we will name the class diagram, that is domain model. The domain model will be the name of the class diagram. So we will provide the name of the class diagram in the second steps. In the third steps, we will in fact select a class from the diagram toolbar. Toolbar means that we will drag drop the particular class diagram that we are required from the toolbar, and then we will click on the class diagram to create the class diagram, and then we will name the class diagram, for example payment. So just drag drop a class diagram from the toolbar and then name the class diagram as according to your requirements. This is again as like when we create the component in Visual Studio or in the C#.NET, that we drag drop a component from the toolbox into our form. So this is exactly the same thing. Next, number 4 steps, I'll add the attributes to the class diagram. So here we can add different attribute list to our class diagram. So just right click on the particular class diagram where you want to add the attributes, then click on the add, then click on the attribute sections. Here you can also use your shortcut keys like Alt plus Shift plus A. This will add the attributes, and then enter the attributes that you want. For example, date attribute, specify the date, data types. The text after colon stands for the attributes types. For example, this will be the variable name and this will be the data types name. Next steps, you can add many attributes as you want by entering the enter key or pressing the enter key on your keyboard. So just for example, this is minus date. Minus stands for this is a private attribute, while plus stands for this is the public attribute. And so many attributes you can add here. So by pressing the enter after inputting a new entry, then add 2 more attributes, that is total, double, and remarks with the strings data type. Next is the step 5. In step 5, you can add the operations or the functions or the methods here. So you can add the operation by right clicking the class diagram and select the add menu, and then select the operation menu and then add your operations here. You can see this is the plus symbol. Plus stands for that this function will be the public, and you can also specify the data types of your functions here. In the next steps, you can specify the associations or the generalization or other relationships of this class. For example, generalization means that this class is the parent class and another class will be the child class of this class. So just click on this and then select the particular associations from relations from this multiple choice. So here generalization is a kind of relations that models a kind of relations and among two different classes. So move the mouse over the payments class and then press its resource icon generalizations. So and when you will click the resource icon and select the generalization and then class and drag it onto another class, then the particular relations will be created here. So this will add the generalization relationship between two different classes. Now release the mouse buttons, which will create the subclass. Subclass will be the child of the parent class, and name it the credit card payment. That means that just click on the particular class and then type the credit card payment text on the particular class, and create another subclass check payments from the payment class. So you can create another class as well from here. So by this way, two different child, these two childs will be, in fact these will be the children of this parent class. So payment is the parent or the base class, while these two are the derived class or the children classes of the payment class. Next is step number 8. So you can add the attributes to the subclasses here. These are two different subclasses. So add different attributes as according to your choice. or according to your requirements to your child classes. Next is step number 9. So just a class can be associated with another class. So just association relations here will be used. So create another class, that is customers, and also create another class with the order. So and then move the mouse pointer over it and drag out the resource icon, and the association class will be added here. So association class, release then the mouse button and name the new class the order. So that means customer is associated with the order class. Next is step number 10. In the step number 10, you have to edit in association here. To edit in the association, just double click on it and open the association editor and enter the name for the role for the association in the middle text box. So here, for example, this is the order association. Just double click on it and type the name of this particular association, and then adjust the property here. This is the adjusting the property here, like the multiplicity and navigatability as required. So just click here, that is 0 to multiplicity, that is from one class to another class. This means that multiple instances, and none of the instances can be created here. So this is how to add the multiplicity and the association name or the particular relation name in the visual paradigm. You can select the particular relations from here as well. Now after doing all these steps, this will be your complete class diagram in the visual paradigm. Here you can see that you can create as many classes as you want. So complete the class diagram by creating another classes and relating them with each other. So this will be your class diagrams at the end of when all these steps will be performed. You can create the class diagram as according to your project as well. Now dear students, this is the end of this lecture and the slides. In fact, this is the end of the slides, and if you want to read more about visual paradigm and the class diagram in the tools, then you can use these references here. These are very much useful for you, so you can study these references later on. So here we are creating our own class diagram in the visual paradigm. So just open your visual paradigms. I have already opened my visual paradigm here. If you have any other class, just you can delete this class diagram from here. Now you can see that the class diagram has been deleted. Now if you want to create new class diagram, just click new project. Yes, do you want to save the previous one? Yes. Here you can provide the name of the project, and also you can provide the author of the project, and the also you can provide the language that for which you are going to develop the project. But here I'm going to develop the UML project. So just click create blank project, and here you can select the types of projects. This is our navigator window, so click on the UML modeling, and from here you can create multiple UML models. That may be the UML class diagram, use case diagram, composite structure diagram, object diagram, sequence diagram, communication activity, state machine diagram, timing diagram, and all other diagrams. We have already discussed these types of diagram in our previous lecture, so I will click on the class diagram. So here I'm going to create the class diagram. Here you can see that it requires the package name, so I am creating university package. So just I click type university, press enter. So you have entered this. Now This is the top package, and this says that diagram name. Diagram means I am creating student diagram. So just again press enter here. You will see that the diagram name has been disappeared. So that means this is the university and this is the students package. University is the package and student is the diagram name. Now from here you can drag drop the class diagrams. So I will drag drop one class diagram from here. This is the toolbar. So just drag and click on here. Now it requires the name of the class diagram. For example, I am typing here the student. Student is the name of the class diagram. Press enter. When you press enter, you can see that the selection has been completed. You can resize your class diagram from dragging drop like this. Now right click on the class diagram and go to add sections, and you can add the attributes as well as the operations. So click on the operations. This you can see that by default will be the attribute. So here I'm adding the different attributes list. First of all, I required, for example, this will be the name attribute, name. Press enter. Another attribute I required the marks attributes. Then press enter. Another attribute I required the degree attributes, for example. So for example, a student belongs to MCS degree, BCS degree or PhD degree. So I will type here degree attribute. Now I need three different attributes, but you can see that there are no data type mentioned along with each attribute. So just select again the particular attribute, right click, add open specification. Click on open specification. You can see that first one is the student name. Is it private or public? If you want to create the public, then select the public, and here you can select the type. So you can see that name should be string. So select the strings from this menu and click apply and press OK. Now you can see that name attribute and it is of the string data type. Similarly, you can also select another attributes and just click on type. For example, marks is usually in the integer, so I will select integer. By default it is minus stands for that is the private visibility. So I can change the visibility from here. This should be public and click OK, and now you can see that attributes names has been appeared. Now click again on specs and select the type. This will also be the string and visibility will be public, and click apply and OK. Now I want to add some operations here. So click again on the class diagram, right click and select the add, and next I want to add the operation, so that's why I will click on the operation. Similarly, I can add the operation. For example, I say that total are total marks. Total marks means that when the particular students want to add all the marks of his or her subjects, so there will be the total marks. And you can see that the one attribute is created, another one is default. If you want to delete this attribute, so just select and click on delete. So you can see that this attribute will be removed. Now one of my class has been completely designed. Now click on this class, click on this particular relations. Here I want to select the generalizations. You can see that again I am telling you that click on this class, select this operations. These are multiple operations here. This is the generalization operations. So I will select two different classes, another classes. So you can see that this is the general. Here it is pointing from me that add a new class. Okay, this is one of the methods. So here just type here, for example, under under uh, undergrad student. There are two types of student: undergrad students or postgrad students. You can see that it's telling me that this is not available here. So just click here and drag drop another class and name it undergraduate students. You will see that undergrad student and click here. Another class has been added. Similarly, I can also copy this class, copy to the visual paradigm, copy to color this. So I can copy as well. So but better is to drag drop another class. So click on here and drag drop another class. So you will type here post graduate student. This is postgraduate student. Click on this. Now, how to create the relationships between two classes? So just click here and drag this relation on this class. Click this and just click here. Just delete this one. Again, click on here and drag this on another class. So just select this class and drag drop this attribute here or the relations here and select the particular relation you want to create. So I want to create the generalization, so click this. You can see that generalization relation has been created. Similarly, again click on this class, click on this and drag drop this relations here and select the particular relation. Now that means that this is the parent class and these two are our child classes. You can add the attributes as well as the operations here from this class. That means that these two are our child classes of this student parent class. Now dear students, we will continue this topic in our next lectures. Now already we have consumed 20 minutes, so this is how you can create the class diagram here. Exactly, you can add the attributes here as well. So I will continue this topic again in the next lecture. Thank you very much.